We're going to do questions and answers.
Okay, MC, no. Okay. Does anybody have questions? Oh, Emmanuel.
I don't have a question.
No, but you're...
We're doing questions and answers.
Does anybody have a question? ¿Alguien tiene una pregunta sobre lo que la doctora ha dicho hoy? Don't be shy. See, Glenny's not shy.
So referring to the chart on the libido, since the men's libido basically remains high and constant as you mentioned, but the woman's libido kind of drops and it's a roller coaster. So how, and you mentioned that we should kind of like guide and be modest and guide them, but how does that work in terms of marriage? So for example, where, you know, his libido is usually constant and he has to keep this promise, you know, of fruitful living just for a child. So how do you balance, how does that work in terms of our roller coaster and their constancy?
Su pregunta fue que cómo esto que ella nos acaba de enseñar con las hormonas, que debemos como mujeres ayudar a los hombres cuando estamos un poco más atraídas a ellos físicamente, ¿cómo funciona eso en el matrimonio?
So that's a great question. I was actually going to talk about this. I'm glad you brought it up. And this actually kind of goes back to the psychology of men and women. So one of the things that occurs in marriage is, again, women, because of their psychology, tend, and again, I say these as generalizations. These things are not exclusive to women or exclusive to men, but tend to be more common in women. Things like cuddling, talking, kissing, are how women experience love and affection. When that's missing, they will often feel like love is missing. For men, it's the opposite. It's actually the act of consummation or the act of intercourse that makes them feel loved. And so what's kind of beautiful in that, again, in the idea of self-gift is each has to give to the other what maybe is not necessarily what they most want to be a gift of self, and in that both find fulfillment. And so what happens in natural family planning, it's not that women don't have a libido at other times, but in a couple that is avoiding, it's going to be particularly hard on the woman because she is missing the week of the month that she most wants to be physically intimate with her husband. And so just like women need to be modest and conscious of how they behave and dress around men at all times out of respect, especially when you're married, if you're in a period of your marriage where you're trying to abstain, for men it becomes a really important time to express the love for the wife in a way that she can receive for the ways that you're avoiding during that time. And it's something that natural family planning actually, I think, built into a relationship. It serves as a kind of a school of that way of living. So couples who use natural family planning describe it as being a honeymoon and a courtship period. Courtship being when they're abstaining, followed by the honeymoon when they come back together, followed by courtship. And so in the times when they may not be expressing their love through physical intimacy, then they focus their attention on expressing it in other ways, right? Because love is expressed physically, but emotionally, creatively, spiritually, and they focus on that during that time. I don't know if that answered your question.
I'm gonna sum that up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So, en esos momentos, cuando al enseñar la planificación de la familia natural, ella dice que muchas de las parejas con las que ella trabaja explican que esos momentos de espera, si la pareja no quiere tener hijos a esos momentos por razones que son válidas, dicen que ellos hay un tiempo de luna de miel, entonces hay un tiempo del cortejo o de noviazgo. Ese es el tiempo donde se están absteniendo del sexo para no concebir en ese momento porque tienen razones válidas. Después, otra vez, viene el momento de la luna de miel porque ya no están en, I don't like to say risk, pero no están en riesgo de salir embarazadas si no están preparados para eso. Entonces, es un momento, el momento del cortejo es un momento para ellos otra vez encontrar maneras creativas para sentirse amados en su matrimonio, porque como ella dijo, las mujeres se sienten amadas cuando son acariciadas, besadas, abrazadas, y el hombre se siente amado en el momento íntimo, en el acto de el sexo, como lo acaba de decir la doctora. Entonces eso es un momento para ser creativos y buscar otras maneras de sentirse amado mutuamente en el matrimonio. I think. Got it, I think. Anybody else have a question? ¿Una pregunta para la doctora? No.
If anybody has questions in private, I'm happy to stay after as well.
Si tienen alguna pregunta que quieren hacerle a ella en privado, también ella va a estar aquí. Is that men and women? Yeah, para los dos. Okay. Emmanuel.